Hey everybody, this is Shauntai. Some of y'all know me as Shauntai, some of y'all know me as a little bit. Local driver in Charleston for the last 16 years. Making this video just to update everybody on what's going on with Coalition 18. I'm also the admin. Not only am I a leadership member of Coalition 18, but I'm also the acting admin on the Truck Drivers United page. And there was a big push in the beginning to try to get drivers from Truck Drivers United over to Coalition 18, and I am still making that request that drivers, company and owner operator that are on the Truck Drivers United page will go over to Coalition 18 and join. There were some issues with people not respecting the opinions of everyone on that page, and it got to being a testosterone contest, and unfortunately some people were removed from the group. But Coalition 18 is a safe space for drivers to go and voice their issues. It is a place to keep in touch and keep up with the changes and the things that are going on in and around the port. It's not just some people, it's not a black and white thing. It's, as truck drivers, we're all out here facing the same issues day in and day out. And we need to come together and just unify, because we're all facing the same issues regardless of our race, our ethnicity, our creed, our sex, our orientation, our nationality. Like, these issues are bigger than the small and the piddly things that, that are dividing us. I know a lot of people are afraid to join Coalition 18 based on what happened back in 2012 and 2013 with the dismemberment or the dissolvement of SECTA. Unfortunately, I was a member of that organization as well, and I just want to say that there was an unfortunate turn of events that, at this point, the blame is not necessary to be placed on anybody, but this is not that. There are safeguards in place to where this organization should not and will not be dissolved. We're handling business a little differently than what was handled there, and I'm not looking to put any blame on anybody or anything. It was just an unfortunate circumstance or set of events that transpired there, but that this is not that. I know a lot of people are afraid to join because they think that this is going to just disappear, or that the money is just going to disappear again. Like that's not the case here at all. We're not just a group, we're a movement. And we need each and every person that is dealing with these issues to come on and join, because it takes unity. The only way that things are going to change is through solidarity and everybody sticking together and having the same goals and mindset and working together. But before we can ask for change from anybody else on the outside, I request that, we kind of examine ourselves. A lot of the issues that we're dealing with as drivers in the Port of Charleston are courtesy issues. I've been out here driving now for 16 years, and it has gone, just out the window. Drivers are selfish. We don't look out for each other. We are just, everybody's out for themselves, and it's just a sad way to be and a sad time to be living in, because we need each other. We're all out here doing the same thing. There is no you or I. There is no black or white. There is no American, Mexican, Canadian. Like, we're all out here shifting gears, turning the wheel and, safely transporting freight. And so I think before we can ask anybody else to respect us, we have to respect ourselves. A lot of the problems in the port are drivers simply cutting each other off without, simply pulling up and saying, hey, where you going? Or, just taking an extra second to be courteous. Everybody wants courtesy, but everybody doesn't extend courtesy. I know that we deal with a lot of frustrations out there every day between the port, the union, the dispatchers, traffic, but that doesn't excuse the bad behaviors that we have. We got a lot of drivers leaving bodily refuse on the kiosk. Man, that's nasty. you shouldn't do that at your house, and you shouldn't do that at your place of business or the place where you do business. And I understand that you're frustrated, but it's negative and it's nasty. And unfortunately, truck drivers already carry this negative stigma of being nasty and just being discourteous. And, a lot of the problems that we're having, even in interactions with the guys in the rails, in the ports, are just because everybody's so riled up and just so angry and so frustrated. So my first request and my first challenge is for everybody to come together and just join up, and let's work together for the greater good, the one cause, which is, better working environment, better working situation, period, for drivers, and also for us to be more courteous to each other and the environment that we work in, courteous to other truck drivers, courteous to the port and rail employees, and just courteous to the environment that we work in. Please stop throwing your waste on the ground and in the port and littering, period. Moving on from there, going back to encouraging everybody to join Coalition 18. It's not just a group, it's a movement. We are not just a local organization anymore. Coalition 18 is now aligned with several other ports, such as New Orleans, New York and New Jersey, Miami, Norfolk, Wilmington, Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, Seattle, and Savannah. We are all under a national organization known as Truckers Movement for Justice. And since we've been under this national movement, the purpose of the national movement and the solidarity with the other ports is so that if we face a problem here, a lot of times the issues that we face, we only are able to deal with or fight here. But the issues that we're dealing with here are not just local issues. They're issues that drivers are facing in ports all over the United States, terminals all over. And so the only way to get change or to push for change is to come together and to stand up to the powers that be and to demand change. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is through strength in numbers. So that was the first purpose of us uniting. And also with the Truckers Movement for Justice, headed up by Mr. Billy Randall, doors have been opening for Coalition 18. We've had some very important, very exciting conversations with some really important people who have been very receptive to Coalition 18 and just the truck drivers as a whole. Since I've been a part of it, we have had numerous podcast interviews with organizations and places that are interested in listening to the truck driver and hearing our side of what's going on right now. We've had interview this week with the New York Times. I myself was a part of a conversation this week with Mr. Scott Cowan, who is the president of the vice president of the United States ILA, as well as the president of the Baltimore local ILA. I was on the phone with Mr. Cowan, Mr. Paler, Ms. Alexander, their ILA attorney, Mr. Graham. And, the purpose of this conversation was to kind of find out what's going on with the union. Because here in Charleston, we feel like a lot of our problems are the union. And I think we attribute a lot of stuff to ILA without really understanding what its structure and what its function. So here in Charleston, we have the Clerks and Checkers Union, we have the Mechanics Union, and then we have the deep side, or the guys that stevedoring, the guys that unload the ships. So the people that we deal with in the kiosk and putting in our pins, and even when we go into the DA office, that's all the Clerks and Checkers Union. We only deal with the stevedoring union, or the guys that unload the ship just in traffic in and out of the ports. And the Mechanics Union, they inspect the boxes coming in and going out, or if we go over to pick up a reefer. So, here in Charleston, we've been experiencing a lot of slowdowns, and we were actually blaming those slowdowns on the union, because we have been intentionally stopped by the union before. Let's be honest and frank. However, the union is not intentionally doing anything to slow our work down, in spite of, and I understand how it looks and how convenient and how it lines up, but we've been assured that the slowdowns that we're experiencing are not based on any retribution from any of the local unions. That's not the case. That every battle that they're handling right now is legal, and they're not allowed to do anything that would hinder or inhibit work or progress right now. So I'll come back to that in a minute. I've also, Coalition 18 has also had meetings this week with a Mr. Rusty Matthews and Mr. Omar Asdi from the port. And